Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Business Studies in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. The last session we understood the limitations of planning and then we went with features of planning. A quick recall of what we have done. In the first session we went with meaning, definition and then the importance. In the second session you have understood the limitations and the feature of planning. If you have not watched the videos, it is there in the YouTube. You can just type AC Sir and you will get all the videos and the link will be provided in the YouTube. Here students, we are in the session 3 and the chapter is the 4th chapter, planning. Today we'll go with an interesting topic, that is, yes, planning process. I always tell you, right, what is process? Process is continuous from the first step to the last step. You cannot delete any of the step because it is a process. It goes like 1, 2, 3, 4 and goes on without breaking any of the point. Planning is a process. We'll understand today what exactly this process is. Here students, you need to know that whenever you plan, you are supposed to go with these process. What are the process? The first thing is, when you plan, what is that you are planning? Why you are planning? Who should actually do it? That means you need to set something. What is that? Setting objective. What is that you are supposed to set? Setting objective. The first process in planning is setting objective. After that you will go with developing premises. What is it? Developing premises. Premises means what? Assumption. You are supposed to develop all the assumption. What if I do this? What should I do so that I can reach my objective very fast? Should I reach my objective fast or should I go with a equal kind of a equilibrium pace? Or if I go with this, what will happen? You are supposed to go with assumption, thinking that what I should do and what I shouldn't do. The third is identifying. What is that you will do? Identifying. What is that you will identify? The alternative course of action. Alternative course of action. What is this course of action? To accomplish any objective, you first, what you will do is setting the objective. What is that I should do? Second thing is, you will assume. Assumption is there. You need to create assumption. You need to develop assumptions. The third thing is, to do that objective, what all are the options? You are supposed to know the options. The fourth one is, after identifying, you need to evaluate. What is that you should do? You should evaluate. When you evaluate, you will get to know which is the best and which is not the best. So you will get to know what you should do and what you shouldn't do it. Again, here what happens is evaluating. You will get to know what are the pros and the cons. Everywhere you will get pros as well as cons. The next thing here, after evaluating, you need to select. What you should do? You need to select that. When you select it, that is what you are supposed to do. And do you think that the planning process is done after selecting? No students, you are supposed to implement it. What you should do? You need to implement it. Only when you implement, now you got the idea. My objective is that and I need to implement it. But here also the planning process will not end, because after implementation you need to check whether you are accomplishing the objective or not. That is, you need to have follow-up action. What you should have? You should have follow-up action. You all know that Abhilash sir is a person who only goes with ACT, Abhilash Chandra tricks, so that you will remember all these points very easily. I'll give you all the tricky tricks of business studies and you can subscribe to our channel. Every time whenever I come to the sessions, I'll be giving few ACT Abhilash Chandra tricks where you can remember as well as you will understand it. So here we'll go with the planning process. So you have setting objectives. What is the first one? Setting objective. Developing premises. Premises means what? It means Assumption. It means what? Assumption. You need to develop that assumptions. What will happen if you do it? What will not happen if you don't do it? Everything you are supposed to assume. The next thing is identifying. What is that you are doing? Identifying, evaluating, selecting, implement the plan. And the last one is follow up action. You are supposed to have that follow up action. Without not following what exactly it is, right? That is an error. Now you are in the second last. If you feel that planning process is done, no, it is not. You are supposed to get that objective, whatever you have set. You are supposed to, until then, you are supposed to do what? Follow up action. There are many people who will actually leave that planning process here. Once selected, done. You will not implement it. There are few people who will fail. They are implementing, but they are not checking whether what they are doing is proper or not. There are n number of examples which I can give it to you, from your business to your general kind of daily routine. Everywhere this process will happen. Moving on, let's know one by one what are these processes. The first process is setting objectives. What is it? Setting objective. What is setting objective? Now I told you everybody should have an objective. Everybody, including me, you, everybody should have an objective. Here what happens is we are talking about the management. So the business organization should have objective. Here you need to understand the keywords here. The first keyword is what? The first and foremost, what is it? The first and foremost thing any organization should have is an objective. And that objective can be for what? The entire organization, or for different departments, or for a particular unit within the organization. Here what the objective is? Let's go with organizational objective. What is it? Organization objective. Let's go with this. What are the organization objective? You all have seen in my sessions, there are like 3, A, B and C. What are the organization objective? The first thing is I need to survive in the market. I need to survive. Now here, survival. I need to go with survival. Survival is what? One of the organizational objective. After I have survived, right, now what is that I should do? I need to have growth. I need to aim to grow. That is, expand my business. The minute I am expanding and doing it, I should also have an objective. That is, I should make profit. I should make what? Profit. So this is the organizational objective. Like that, you have objective for different department. You have objective for different department, as well as you have objective for units within the organization. It can be individual or a team, a group. There are difference between team and group, which I'll tell you in my next classes. Here, the next thing is objective may be set for the entire organization. It can be set for the entire organization, or it can also go with each department. Marketing department, the objective is different. Sales department is totally different. Financial department is actually totally different from these two. So departmental objective can also be done, or unit within the organization. So objective is very, very important. Let's go with this example, right? A live example. Just assume that, okay, because you have not done planning properly in your 10th standard, assume that you are in 10th standard and you want to do something in life. Now you have an objective. What is that objective? I need to earn fame, I need to earn name, as well as I need to earn money, rokda, rupiah. Now all these three are your objective, but what is that you should do? Question mark. What is that you should do? Question mark. Now your parents will tell you that they gonna place you to any of the schools or the colleges. Now after 10th, if you go with CBSE, we call it as 11th standard and 12th standard, that means again back to school. If you go with PU, that is pre-university, you will come to the colleges. Now understand what exactly is your objective. Your objective is simple, three things, right? You need to earn fame, name and money. So for that, what is the best thing you need to do? Let me give you an example of 5 of the options what you can do. You can go join architect, so that in the future, right, so that you will get name, fame and money if you be an architect. Or right, the second one, you take up again science or commerce or arts, and then you can be a barrister, that is LLB. You can go for LLB. Now the third one is you will take science and then you can be a doctor. You can be what? Doctor. Next thing, right? Now please understand all these things. You take commerce and you can be a chartered accountant. Again, more money you get. What is that? More money you get. And the work is what? Meticulous. You are supposed to do it, but the return is also what? Huge. Next, you can again take science and you can join engineering. Let's go with this. I have given you this option. Let me just write down this option here. You can go with A, B, C, D, E or anything. See, I'm going with this. All tricky tricks you can understand what exactly it is. A, architect, barrister, chartered accountant, doctor, engineer. This is what Vidhyaashram does. The minute you come to Vidhyaashram, you can select your own thing. You can have a proper objective. Or if you go with this, sir, what is that F? F also you can go with it. Financial analysis. What is it? Financial analysis. This is actually, if you go with this financial analysis, you will actually earn more than 5 lakh rupees per month. What is it? 5 lakh rupees per month. If you are very good with finance, I'll tell you, this is beautiful now. Now, your objective, you got to know name, fame and money. You need to select a college for that. Now, architect, you are supposed to join science. You are, if it is barrister, any of the thing. See, chartered accountant, even a science student can actually take up chartered accountant thing. Doctor, now for that you can't be a commerce student, you should take PCMB only. Engineering, you can take PCMB or PCMC or PCME. Financial analysis, anybody can actually go, even if you have taken science or commerce, doesn't matter. When you do your masters, finance should be your subject. That is what it is. Now you're planning for like 5 years to 6 years. That is what you are planning. Now the next thing is developing premises. Students, developing premises means what? Premises means assumption. You need to assume that what exactly you need to go with. Now when you go with that assumption that A, B, C, D, E are my option, and now you will create your own dreams. That is, if I be an architect, what will I do? If I go with barrister, what am I supposed to do? If I go with doctor or engineer, what exactly I need to go through? Should I study more or should I go with it? Now all assumptions. You go with what? Assumptions. You will calculate everything. How it will be your lifestyle, all those things. That is very good. You need to assume and then move on. You need to develop that assumption because you are futuristic. What is that? You are futuristic. Now understand this. Assumptions are the base. They are what? They are the base because they are what? Material upon which plan are drawn. It is what? It is a material, and that is where the real plan is drawn. That is why here the plans are drawn. This is what the premises is. Premises and assumptions, please understand, both are the same one. Premises or assumption, both are same. Must be the same for all. That means whatever you plan, it should be understood by everybody. Everybody need to go with a clear assumption. Okay, fame, name, money, everybody should go with the same thing. Next, all manager. Let's come back to our business. All managers involved in planning should be familiar. That means whoever are going with developing premises, everybody should know that what exactly the objective is and what is the limit of that objective, what are the pros as well as the cons of the objective. But that means everybody should get familiar with what? With the same assumption. Now you cannot change assumption. Now you can't go with I'll be a celebrity, I'll be an actor, I'll be something. Now A means not actor, it is what? The assumption should not change. It is architect. Now the same kind of a thing. This is called developing premises. What is it? Developing premises. The next one is identifying. What is you are supposed to do? Identify. Identifying what? Alternate course of action. Alternate course of action. Students, here I'll teach you the management first, then we'll relate to our example of name, fame and money. In the management, what happens is you have too many options. You have too many options. For one of the objective, what you have? Too many options. If I go with this, my objective is fulfilled, but time is required. If I go with this, the objective is done, but money is required more. That means alternative actions are there. Please understand. All the alternative course of action should be identified. You need to identify what exactly is the kind of alternative course of action you people have. That means you need to identify. The alternate course of action which may be taken could be what? It could be either routine, or routine means what? General. It is like every time I do the same thing, so we'll go with the same thing. Or you can create it. That is innovative. That is what? Innovative. No, I'll not do whatever I used to do before. Let's go with a new technique. That is what the innovative is all about. Now, please understand the second point is very, very important. You will understand this here. An innovative course may be adopted. It can be adopted by involving more. By involving more what? More people and sharing their ideas. Here I told you in the last session, 2 is always better than 1, right? So when you go with alternative course of action, don't choose only one action and then tell this is the alternative course of action. You should always have more than 2 alternative course of action, because the more alternative course is there, then what will happen? The ideas are more. Then you'll get to know, array, if I go with this, what will be the end result? Will I get success the way I told, name, fame, or all those things, or I will not get it? Now understand with our example, right? Now what is that example? Here, A, B, C, D. Let's go with E. Okay, let's restrict A, B, C, D, E. Let's restrict that F. Okay, let's go with this F also. Now, these are the alternative course of action. If I want to get name, fame and money, I can choose any one of them. But these are called identifying. You have identified alternative course of action. You have identified the alternative course of action. Now you thought that I don't need this. Just cancel it. What you should do? Cancel it. Remove it from your option. You have identified properly. Done. Now the next thing what you will go with is, after identification, is evaluating alternate course of action. What is that you want to do? Evaluate. What is that evaluation? You will examine. What is that you will examine? You will examine the pros and the cons. That is the positive, which is the positive and which is the negative. With what? A, B, C, D, E. All those things you will take a different chart. You will write down A, architect, what are the pros, what are the cons, which year I'll start earning, whether I'll earn more or I'll not earn more. In that, again, what is that you are doing? Evaluating. You are examining. What is that you are doing? Examining. Please understand, this is the next step after identification, right? What it is to weigh. It is to weigh the pros and the cons of each alternative. Of what? Each alternative. That means A, B, C, D, E, everything is there. Each alternative you are supposed to list down and weigh the pros and the cons. Each course will have many variables. They'll have many variables, because what is A is not the same as what is B, because everything is a different department. So this is what it is, variable which have to be weighed against each other. That means you need to compare which is the best one, because you are evaluating, examining, right? The next thing is the positive and the negative. I told you right here, the positive and the negative, the positive and the negative aspect of each proposal need to be evaluated in the light of the objective. Now please, you should not forget your objective. What is your objective? Your objective is here. Your objective is you need to make name, fame, right, and more money. You need to earn more money. You need to earn more money. So these are the things which you want to earn. So this is your objective. Now you need to focus with all the alternative course of action and then think what will give you more name, more fame, more money according to your situation, according to your face value. That is what you are supposed to know. Here the next one, to evaluate such proposal detailed. What is it? Here time you are supposed to take. You are supposed to take more time because you are doing evaluation. It is like paper correction. Your teacher need to correct the papers properly. If they give you grace marks, you will not understand where you have gone for a flop. So you are supposed to, this is your life. This is not just one examination. This is not just one paper. It is your entire life is actually here. You need to decide properly. That's why it will take time. And what is that you should do? You should calculate everything. You should calculate everything. Now here, to evaluate such proposal detailed calculation of earning. Which is the business or which is the subject or which is the department, if I go, I can make more money, that is earning more. Now go with the next one, that is here it is all about the management. What exactly? Earning per share, interest, tax, dividend are made and decisions are taken. That is for the objective of the management. Now let's go with our example. We have that same A, B, C, D and E. Okay, now we have this A, B, C, D and E. We have examined everything. Now evaluation is done. When evaluation is done, the next plan which we go with is selecting an alternative. What is that? We have done selective and alternative. Let's go with this. Let's go with this, right? Now here, let's give this as A. Now B, this is the C, D, E, F. What is that we did in the identifying alternate course of action? We have rejected F. We have rejected F. That means we have not gone through more about F. Now it is rejected. Financial analysis is rejected. Engineer, doctor, chartered accountant. What is it? Chartered accountant. This is C means what? Chartered accountant. Then you go with what? B. B in the sense barrister. A in the sense architect. Now what is that you have done? When you evaluated, you got to know that. Now I will not go for science. So PCMB, PCME, PCMC is cancelled. The minute PCMB, PCMC, PCME is cancelled, what is it? Now you cannot be an engineer. You cannot be a doctor. It is all gone. Now you can't be an architect also. Now go with this. All these things are gone. All these things are gone. Your leftover is what? Even after commerce, you can go with your LLB. So barrister or chartered accountant. Now you don't want to be a lawyer. You don't want to be a lawyer. You feel that I need to study more and this is like it will take time, 10 years, 20 years, or it can go with whatnot. We don't know. So what you have done is you have rejected. You have rejected. Now you thought CA is something which I will do. Now you will take up commerce in Vidhyaashram and then you will pursue your CA is what you feel. What is that you have done? You have selected. What is it you have done? You have selected. From here the journey starts. From here the real planning process starts. That is after selection, what will happen? What will happen? Please understand the selection. This is the real point. I told you, right? This is the real point. Real point of what? Decision making. Now you have decided, you have rejected the other, right? Now this is the real thing. The best plan has to be adopted. The best plan here is what? chartered accountant. I'll take up commerce, I'll be a CA, and then fame, name and money will automatically come is what you have decided. That is what it is. The best plan has to be adopted and implemented, not just taking it and keeping it. If somebody comes and tell you what is that you want to do in life, you will aram se tell CA I want to do. That is not the plan. You are supposed to implement it. You are supposed to implement and then crack all the examination and get dedicated materials and the faculty. When you get dedicated materials and the faculty here, right, now you can actually think, yes, I can be a CA. But hard work, your smart work, everything is a combination here. The next thing is the ideal plan. The ideal plan, of course, would be the most feasible. That is what it is. Not like today itself I'll climb Himalaya. Don't go with all these objectives, right? It should be what? Feasible. That is, you can do it. That is called feasible, most feasible, profitable, and the least negative. All these things you have evaluated, you got it selected because it is a least negative thing. Chartered accountant, anybody can be a chartered accountant if they concentrate more on the classes, and then your hard work, smart work, everything will count. This is called selecting an alternative. The next thing is here, implement the plan, guys. That means what? Do it. What is it? Do it. After selecting, there are many people who are like, they'll not do it, they'll not implement, they'll forget because distractions are more. I'm telling you, don't get deviated, guys. This is what happens. The minute you till you are 10, you are normal. Whatever your parents will tell, you will actually believe it, and then you will trust, and then you will do it. The minute you come to your college, that trust, belief towards your parents changes, and then you start telling, right, generation gap. That is what you actually say, and then you will not implement it. Here you will fail if you don't implement it. Now you don't have any option. What is your option? You need to go with CA, chartered accountant. Now what is that you need to implement? Let's go with it. This is a step where other managerial function comes. What is it? Other managerial function. Which are the other managerial function? Please remember this. Functions of management means managerial function. What is the first function here? Planning. Now you have done planning. That is chartered accountant you want to be. Next thing is what? Organizing. Now you need to organize everything. You need to go to a college where chartered accountant is what? Is one of the materials which they actually provide you. Next is what? Staffing. Staffing means right person for a right place. You are supposed to have a guru, that is who can teach you as well as who can make you crack the chartered accountant properly. The next thing is directing. What is it? D for directing. You need to only go with the same direction. You should not have any distraction, any of the deviation. You should only obey what your faculty will tell you, and then you are supposed to move on. Here the next thing is, the last one is C, controlling. You need to control yourself, your family, your parents, everybody as well as your friends, relatives will tell you that you are supposed to skip your college for a marriage function, you should skip your college for some kind of other enjoyment. But what is that you should do? You should tell them that no, I need to go with the CA. I'll tell you guys here, please understand. 5 years you dedicate yourself. 5 years you dedicate yourself and read, study, then accomplish what you really want to do. 50 years you will be happy. That 5 years, if you are happy, you have bunked classes, you didn't concentrate on the lecture, you made fun of other people, I'm telling you, the next 50 years you will only suffer. This is what happens to all of the students who are in India or abroad. That 5 years will decide what you will be in future. So this is what the implementation of plan is. What it is, a step where other managerial function comes. This is what the managerial function comes, so that you can accomplish whatever the objective is. This is your objective. No, this is not your objective. Your objective is name, fame and money. That is your objective. This is only a medium where you can actually get those. The last one is follow up action. What is it? Follow up action. Now whether you are really doing it or not. Now implementation is also done. Now you need to check that are you able to cope up with the subject? Are you able to crack CA? Are you able to be a very good CA? Not just a CA, you should be what? In demand. That means company should come and recruit you, or else you can start your own thing. Now the three things, objectives will be accomplished. What is this follow-up action is? To see whether plans are being implemented. Now plans are of what? There are three types: short term, right? Medium term, and then you have long term. Now for accomplishing or cracking CA, you can go with medium term plan. What is it? Medium term plan. What is a short term plan? Short term plan means you are supposed to be very good with the company law, the commercial law, accountancy, taxation, everything. All those things are short term. Now long term is what? You need to maintain your clients. What is that you should do? You need to maintain your client. That means you should make a name of your CA, that is chartered accountant, and then automatically all the companies will actually come and they will recruit you, or they will actually recognize you as a chartered accountant who is the best across India. This is what you are supposed to do. Now in implementation, what is that? Monitoring is there. When you implement it, after that, what is that? Monitoring. That is what follow-up action is. You need to monitor. You should not get distracted. Sir, I'm done with my CA, but I'm not making money. The reason is you are getting distracted. Go join some person who's already a CA and he has made a name. Be an intern to him, and then you can go with all these things. Monitoring the plan is equally important. You need to monitor whether you are doing a proper or you're not going with the same kind of a plan. To ensure that objectives are achieved, what is your objective? Name, fame, and money. This is what is your objective. These are the process of planning. What are they? Process of planning. Hope you have understood all the process. I'll just repeat here. First, what is that you have done? Objective. Your objective is set. Setting objective. Next, you will assume that is what? Developing premises. What is it? Developing premises. Third one is identifying alternate course of action. What is that you have done? Options are there. What if I do this? Identifying alternate course of action. Next, properly you need to evaluate. What is that you should do? Properly you should evaluate. In the evaluation, what happens? The examination process happens. Every individual assumption you are supposed to evaluate. After evaluating, you need to select. What is that you should do? You need to select. What you need to select? The best one you are supposed to select. That is what it is called, evaluating. And then selecting. Now here, after selecting, you should not leave that. You need to implement it. What you should do? You need to implement it. After implementation, the last one is till you get that objective. Till you get that objective, you need to follow up. What you should do? You need to follow up. These are the process of planning. Right? So any of the doubts, any of the things, you know what exactly you should do, DM me, comment, like, subscribe, and always bless me. Vidhyaashram is always there for you 24/7, as your Abhilash sir will teach you all ACT Abhilash Chandra tricks in the coming sessions. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.